Hey guys, welcome to another Iron Mike GT Sports stream. This is the FIA manufacturers at Monza in Group 4 cars. What is it, 20 laps? 6 times tyre wear and 2 times fuel. The fuel amount is probably just enough to make the race. I'd say probably there's about 22 laps of fuel on average for each car. That's what I found with the car I'm in, the Toyota. In practice, I found my fastest lap time was with a brake balance of -3, possibly with no traction control at all, which was about 1:59, which was okay. Wasn't great, wasn't horrible. But then doing 20 odd laps in practice, I'd find the fronts were wearing quite a bit. So I've brought the tyre, brake balance, to 0. You can see it there. I've added some traction control, just to look after the tyres. And I think I do try and just burn a bit of fuel initially, so I'm actually under. Well, that's what I was trying to do, and then revert maybe within four laps time, revert back to my normal driving style, which is a slight fuel saving style, to try and get the car light nice and quick to save on the tyres. So starting in I can't remember, what was it, 11th I think it was. Yeah, I got Morrissey behind me. There's a number of people on this in this race I know, so have fun who's right in front of me. Morrissey, there's a few people I'm getting to know, like the Big Tommy. Can't think of anyone else at the moment. Heartstopper, who's up the front and does quite well. So tyres are cold, and I guess you can sometimes forget that and just go flat straight away. I guess that's why on that chicane things have gone wrong. Luckily no penalties. And just trying to find my feet at this point, just trying to force myself to get into my rhythm. It's real hard when you're sandwiched. So I guess the question is, starting in 11th. I did actually qualify 9th and then drop back to 11th. Originally this is the first race of the day, and I was going to start from the back, and I just followed everyone around about half a lap behind, thinking, well, I'll watch what their lap times were. Some of them were good and the rest were looking pretty bad, over 2 minutes. And so I was doing that lap like I was properly qualifying, and then I've got half a lap to decide whether or not I abort and start from the back or whatever. But for some reason I just continued on, thinking that my lap time was doing okay, which it was. But I didn't realise as soon as I crossed the line, the qualifying had actually come to an end. That surprised me, so I was hoping I'd have another lap. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This corner is probably the worst part of the track for me. It's trying to negotiate with people, and usually if you're close with people you will collide, but trying to hope that they know you don't mean it, and just try and very ugly, in a very ugly way, try and get around without crashing out. And so I'm on brake balance 0. So the further back my brake balance is, I felt like my back end would be just stepping out, and my lap times would be just a little bit slower. So the further forward it was, the better my lap time. So there was a balance between keeping good lap times and looking after my tyres. So at brake balance 0, I was just monitoring how does the car feel, and I did learn during my practicings to try and do a lot of braking and reduce all my momentum before I actually enter the turn. So entering here, the brakes are off, not going in so hard where I'm actually braking as I'm trying to turn, or else I just go into a slide. And I don't know, for me this race felt painful. I mean, so we're doing lap 2 now, so we're already on lap 2, but we got 20 laps of this. And honestly, the plan was start at the back and just watch everyone get penalties, and I'll just go sailing on through. But even though I started 11th, so far not too many penalties have been handed out, to my surprise. And a group of cars in front of me, it's a good opportunity this corner to catch up to people, because it just slows people down. I've just got through a lot of people there. Now I've got Have Fun just behind me. Yeah, I wanted to say to him, I've been chatting with Have Fun lately. I've been wanting to say to him, if you're behind me and you're faster, go for an overtake. Don't just sit behind me and be submissive. I think the next lap, you see, I actually put my indicator on, because I felt like he'd be catching up to me. So what is he, 0.45, so he's half a second behind me, and you'll see at points he does catch up. So here's another Toyota right in front of me. I sat behind him for a while, but I felt like he was a touch slower. Luckily I get away from him cleanly through those corners. So it looks like Have Fun has just dropped back a touch. I'm sure we do meet up again. So this Schusslen in the Toyota, he's going for a pass. Yep, fair enough. So go for it. We're in the same car, which for me, I didn't feel like the Toyota was too strong in this race. You need a big strong car that has a good top end speed, which this Group 4 Toyota lacks. It's good on it's good with braking and acceleration, but top end speed is a bit slow. So I've got behind me a little Sirocco, little FF car. So fast at the beginning, but I thought near the end of the race his front wheel is going to be crying. Always worried about cutting those corners and getting a penalty. So starting 11th, yeah, and I'm in 10th at the moment. And honestly, I thought by now I'd be getting swamped and just dropping at the back. So even at the moment being in 10th, I was reasonably happy. Always trying to get this corner right for a good exit. So I've got Have Fun behind me again. And he's 1 second behind. Trying to keep in these guys slipstream. I did bump draft this guy last lap. Yeah, I'm doing that again. And I'm just stepping out here so I can see my brake point, not to dive bomb this guy. I do not like being right up behind people, and then I find they start to brake well before I do, and I end up hitting the back of them. So to avoid that, I just step out so I can see. It's usually because I've got this bumper cam view, which is real low. So ultimately, I feel like I've got a faster speed than the guy in front of me. I've got a better exit than him there. I think the reason why I was bump drafting was I'm just nothing against have fun, but it was anyone behind us. I'm just testing, can we create enough gap to reduce any slipstream from behind. But you can see that's have fun behind me, and he is catching. He's in my slipstream now, of course. So again, I just pull out so I can see the two cones now. So I'd just be looking at the split time. I could have put my indicator on, but there were times I thought not yet because we're coming up to a corner. There is a point where I'll put my indicator on to say go around me. I can't remember if he takes it. But so my strategy. Yeah, so Schuslin in the Toyota, he goes off track. So luckily, myself and Have Fun get past him. So my goal for the first 10 laps was to just look after my tyres and just try and keep it as smooth and calm as I could. Because I thought from lap 11 to 20, if you don't look after your tyres, you're really going to feel it. And I was hoping other people would begin to struggle. And that's when the catch-up game would start. So every opportunity, like now when I think, oh, have fun, here's your opportunity to get past, he'd kind of drop back a touch on the corners. His car is heavier, of course. The Toyota's strength probably is within the braking, cornering and accelerating, but not top end. So here he is again, but a little bit too late. We're into a corner. Yeah, put my indicator on. So go around, go for it, and then I'll take it off. It's like, well, too late. You can kind of tell Have Fun is using a control pad. His car is very squiggly. A lot of tiny adjustments being made. which for me would add to tyre wear, whereas using a wheel is a little bit more smoother. And this is the unfortunate point. So this guy in the little Sirocco's paid his penalty. I get past. Have Fun gets a little bit caught behind him, so we separate here. And that, I guess that's what I was trying to say before. If Have Fun was fast enough and could have overtaken, I'd be hoping he would have done it, because he's kind of lost his opportunity now. So just checking my fuel there. We've done 7 laps and I've got 13 laps of fuel remaining, so it's pretty well spot on at the moment. Wasn't really anything to worry about. I must admit, maybe around here I was hoping that Have Fun would be giving some people a bit of a hard time, to have them actually slow down so they wouldn't catch me. You know, causing drivers to have to go defensive against Have Fun. So yeah, the day before the race, I think it was, I communicated with Have Fun and told him I believed it was a no-stopper race. I wasn't too sure if anyone did pit in this race. I wasn't too sure. During the week when I was practicing, I wasn't sure whether or not paying, because I did test it, it's about 20 seconds to change tyres in and out of the pits. And I think I did notice there wasn't a great deal of change in my lap times. Just a slight amount. And then when I watched a stream of someone's who was practicing in a lobby, and these are like A drivers, none of them, literally none of them pitted. And they kind of told me that, yeah, you just don't pit, which I don't really like this kind of race. I've said it before, I prefer a race where there's all 3 tyre types, hard, medium, soft, maybe a little bit of fuel management, so a bit of thinking and strategy involved. And a race like that is definitely where I'd probably comfortably start at the back. It's about out-thinking people. Whereas a start-to-finish race is just a little bit of a smash and bash. So that's Sam Fozesk losing control there, getting knocked off, who comes into the stream a little bit later. I don't really know the guy, and I've seen his name pop up, but I don't think I've ever really raced the guy that who's in position 8, Sam Fonza-esque. So at the car in front of me, I think he actually qualified quite well. And he's in a Mercedes, and again the A lobby drivers that I watched, the host of the stream was saying, "Oh, if you're in a Mercedes, you'll do alright in this race. It's a fast car on this track." And yet this guy, I thought, well, he's not doing so well if I'm behind him in my slow car. So I thought it's another opportunity for me to go for. And why was I thinking that? Well, it's a big heavy car, so I thought maybe he's cooked his tyres. But halfway through the race, some people are going to start show signs of weakness. Like there, just getting a bit loose there. And then in position 5 we've got Morrissey. I had to be very careful on particular laps when I was behind people in the slipstream, and out goes this Poppy Ohi. So that Mercedes is gone. I'm in position 6. Morrissey has a penalty to pay. Now here I just sort of stick behind him. Wanted to show him that I wasn't going to try and overtake. I was a little bit far back, but just wanted to get that message across clear. He just seems to be a little bit slow. And I don't know, I got the feeling he was trying to be defensive, which just slows things down a bit. So finishing lap 10 halfway through the race, my tyres don't look too bad. They're actually looking pretty good. Zahiri, I don't know, he just seems to be moving around a bit. And again, the old bump draft. But it would be the only one because we're entering. So I pull out just to look at where my brake point is, and then bang! Oh, and I'm saying to myself, no, no, no. I'm so glad he didn't go off track. I don't know what he'd be thinking. I can imagine what he'd be thinking. But it wasn't intentional. I just needed to have a look where my brake point was. So 1.1 second gap there. And again, I was pretty happy with my tyres. Like I said, maybe from lap 15 to 20 in other lobby practices, if I didn't look after my tyres, I was literally just following people around. See, again, I'm hard up against him. He's showing signs of just being a little bit slow. So now I've got this Sam Fonza-esque behind me. He's outside the slipstream, but just slowly catching. He's probably still just out of it at the moment. I did flash my lights at Morrissey after tapping him like that. See, again, to me that's a defensive line to be pulling right in there, and I am quite far back, so I just get a bit confused. We are PlayStation mates. I just get a bit confused on sometimes people's driving style, and then I found he was going right out. I reckon he's on a pad as well. It looks like he's just wriggling around. You know, and unfortunately, you know, right now I'm thinking, oh, maybe I should have just gone for it and gone for a pass. but it's so difficult, you know. You'll be catching, and then a certain corner, one little mistake and you're dropping back, or there is a passing move coming up and then there's a corner, you need to start braking, you're on hards. It's not easy. So again, I've caught Morrissey quite easily. So again, just step out so I can see. And I can imagine it looks like I'm stepping out like I'm going to dive bomb. I know what it looks like, but I'm hoping each time I do it he'll see. So now I can understand, he's holding the defensive line. Yep, no worries, I'll give you a bump draft, looks like, and then I'm going to step out because I need to see, and then just maybe a touch early. No, just let him go through, and I've got this Sam Fonza-esque right on our tails now. That was either a mistake or a sign of weakness there on Morrissey's part. Now I'm not too sure what lap it is. I'm not too sure if it's this one but it's one coming up soon, and at the last second in my mirror I see that Sam Fonza-esque just come straight up behind me and smack me. On the very final corner coming up. Yeah, I think it's this one. So he's got himself a half-second penalty for something, corner cutting. And I reckon he's thought, well, I'm going to drop back. I know, I'll just smack this guy. And watch this. Smack. Right. It's put me right out and just continues on. So that's caused me to lose 3 places. So from 6th back to 9th. Now we all hit people, I understand that, but that just looked like, yeah, there was a lot of room there for him to try and avoid me. It just seemed like way too much of a hit. And where is he? I must admit, I've hit people and haven't stopped, only because I've said before, they're so far off track. If you stop for them, you could both be in position 19 and 20. But yeah, I really wasn't happy with it. I don't know the guy. I thought maybe this guy is dirty. I didn't know he had a penalty at the time, but that just seemed so irregular, that type of hit, to hit someone that far off track. So, like I said in the past, when I was practicing, I found my fastest lap time was at a brake balance of -3 at the front and 0 brake balance. But being a 20 lap race, I needed to tone things down to look after my tyres. And I really wasn't happy with that guy, Sam Fonza-esque. And I just thought I really need to catch him, and we're going to have 6 laps to go and my tyres are looking pretty damn good. And if I stay the way I am, I'm going to be stuck behind these two, being slightly competitive, or at a certain point I can make an adjustment and crank it up, take off the traction control and bring the brake balance forward. But I knew that it could go against me, pushing a bit too hard on corners and spinning out. So it just took me a little while to think about it. But a little bit later, I reckon maybe it was lap 17, you see me do it, and maybe a touch before you see me going to my brake balance, like I'm thinking about it, and then thought, no, not yet. You know, and maybe also learning from experience. As much as I'm not happy with the guy in position 6 and I want to move forward to exact some revenge, I guess, I had to keep in mind of things could go worse. So stay calm, just keep doing what you're doing, you know, your brake points, be smooth on corners, accelerate carefully, you know, cautiously. Just kept calm. I didn't let emotion just fully override me and just become angry and start driving erratically, because I've done that in the past, you know, maybe a year ago or something, and where things just absolutely go wrong. So if I started 11th, being in the top 10, I'm in 9th, I still would have been, I guess that would be considered a reasonable result. Have fun if you're watching, which I'm sure you are. Look at that track limit. I was a little bit too close to that big Tommy and lost focus on that corner. Have fun if you're watching, and I'm sure you are. I'll share the race at some point and you can watch it. You did mention about Big Tommy hitting you off track. I looked at the replay and it looks like he's made an accident, you know, gone a bit too hard into the turn 1 chicane, and he's, I guess, recklessly trying to drive through and get back on track, and that's when he's hit you. But when I looked at it, it didn't look like it was 100% intentional. It looked slightly like it was, it was just unfortunate. So I'll share the race within the next day or two so you can look at it. But it doesn't look like he did that intentionally. He was just trying to get back on track. So that 1 second penalty I've paid, and it's cost me a bit. I've dropped back. I'm not too sure if I've gone to, I guess I'm just looking at my fuel there, but I'm actually catching up pretty good now. I don't know if I've already gone to my settings, like I've considered making the adjustment, and I think when I was considering, there was a part of me thinking don't, but then eventually I do go through and make the adjustment. So obviously I haven't yet, because I've got my traction control still on. But again, so this is lap 17. I think it's this lap I do it, but my tyres are still looking pretty good. Oh, Schussler. Getting treated a bit rough there. here we go. They're up -2. Okay, 0. So I've gone to -2, not 3. So that lap 16 time, 2 minutes and 3, that would have had that 1 second penalty in it. So we'll see what my lap times are like now. And I knew I've still got quite a bit of tyre life, so I can afford to do this. Don't actually make any contact here, but I was worried he'd think I've hit him. And for some reason, going into this turn 1 chicane, I was worried this guy was going to just get some revenge on me and punt me when we didn't even touch. Alright, so we'll see what this lap 18 time is. Ooh, I think it was that Schussland hit me, causing me to hit Big Tommy. That's not going to help the lap time. Big Tommy goes off a bit. His tyres are starting to wear. Right on him now. It's going in a bit deep. I'm really starting to see him struggle now. But he's got straight line speed. So even here now I was thinking, oh, I'll try and push him to the limit and I'll just break a touch early and he'll slide out to the outside and I'll cut on the inside. He's kept it clean, and I've almost done it. But he's starting to appear. So that lap was 2 minutes and 2. Didn't help with that chicane incident. I don't know why we both go like into a slide. I thought this was my opportunity. And maybe it is. I am on the inside now. And it goes off a touch again. But again, that straight line speed, I can't answer it. Goes out a touch wide. It's going. He's actually off the track at the moment. It's coming back on. The Big Tommy one. And then I found Sam Fonza-esque. It was about 7.5 seconds ahead. It sounded like a lot, and then I could see them. It's like, well, actually, they're not that far away. That's a lot of time. So I was hoping Morrissey and Sam Fonza-esque begin to battle a lot in this final lap. Getting a bit loose. I must admit, I wasn't really looking at the big Tommy behind me. I was just focusing on that Sam Fonza-esque split time. The guy did apologise at the end of the race with "I'm sorry," but I don't know, I didn't think that was genuine. Yeah, Heartstopper, like I said, I mentioned him before, New Zealander. He's done really well. I think he started 4th and he finished 2nd. So Heartstopper, he's done a good job. And I'm coming home in 7th place. I was pretty happy from 11th. Getting hit off track. Dealing with 1 penalty. It's unfortunate. 7th. So starting 11th, like I said, finishing 7th, up 4 places. 65 points. I was reasonably happy with that. Thanks for watching the stream, guys. Hope to see your streams, of course, and see you in the next one.